Thank you, Travis. Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. Deaths in Latin America and the Caribbean from COVID-19 topped 500,000 on Tuesday, and cases soared above 15 million amid holiday festivities, according to official government reports. More than a third of the deaths occurred in Brazil. Regional health authorities have expressed concern about the impact of year-end celebrations on health systems that were stretched to the limit in mid-2020. Brazil recorded 58,718 additional confirmed cases in the past 24 hours, along with 1,111 deaths from COVID-19 on Tuesday. On Tuesday, Brazil's Vice President Hamilton Mourão also tested positive for the coronavirus. Officials did not say whether the 67-year-old was displaying any symptoms, but said he would self-isolate in his official residence. Brazil has so far registered nearly 7.6 million cases, while the official death toll has risen to 192,681. Now in Argentina. Argentina's Congress has legalized abortions up to the 14th week of pregnancy, a groundbreaking move for a region that has some of the world's most restrictive termination laws. Senators voted in favor of the bill after a marathon session, with 38 in favor, 29 against, and 1 abstention. Until now, abortions were only permitted in cases of rape or when the mother's health was at risk. Large crowds of campaigners gathered outside Congress in the capital of Buenos Aires following the debate on huge screens. When the vote finally happened in the early hours of Wednesday, there was jubilation in the pro-choice camp. The Catholic Church, which remains highly influential in Latin America, had opposed the move. Abortions are completely banned in El Salvador, Nicaragua, and the Dominican Republic, and only allowed in certain restricted circumstances in most other Latin American countries. Only Uruguay, Cuba, Guyana, and parts of Mexico currently allow women to request an abortion. Still in Argentina. Argentina has become the latest country in Latin America to start vaccinating people against COVID-19. Mexico, Chile, and Costa Rica already started their vaccination drives on Thursday using the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. But Argentina is the first in the region to use the Russian-developed Sputnik V, of which it has received 300,000 doses so far, with millions more expected to arrive in the coming months. Argentina has registered more than 1.5 million cases of the coronavirus, and more than 43,000 people have died. Venezuela has signed a contract with Russia to acquire enough of the Sputnik V coronavirus vaccine to inoculate 10 million people in the first phase, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez said on Tuesday. Venezuela began administering the vaccine to about 2,000 people in October as part of a clinical trial. Venezuela, with a population of more than 25 million, has recorded some 112,636 coronavirus cases and 1,018 deaths from the virus. Now for a rather interesting story from Jamaica. Fitzroy Core, branded as one of Clarendon's most wanted criminals, who was shot dead by law enforcers in Manchester on Sunday, used 2 women as human shields in an attempt to escape after he was cornered in a house. According to the police, the encounter with 26-year-old Core occurred about 6 p.m. when members from the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch went to his premises in Mayday, Manchester. Upon police's arrival, they asked the occupants to exit the premises and surrender. I quote, Core then appeared on the veranda using 2 women as human shields. The policemen sought to apprehend him when he engaged one officer in a tussle. During the tussle, Core pulled a gun from his waistband, at which point another officer took evasive action and fired shots in Core's direction, hitting him. He was taken to a nearby medical facility where he was pronounced dead. End of quote, the police said. Core was a person of interest in at least 13 murders and 4 shootings in the parish of Clarendon. And internationally, the Louisville, Kentucky officer who obtained the no-knock warrant and the officer who fired a fatal bullet in the raid of the home of Breonna Taylor both received notice on Tuesday that the police department intends to fire them. Detective Joshua James was informed that the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department intends to terminate his employment. A lawyer for Detective Miles Cosgrove confirmed that he received a letter of termination from the department. Taylor was killed by police during the March 13 raid on her apartment, in which police found no drugs or money. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.